What happened at Melbourne has left everyone with one fixed question in their heads. Does Mercedes win only on engine power, or did Ferrari waste the opportunity of a lifetime with a chassis that's a true engineering masterpiece? Lando Norris, someone who usually doesn't give compliments to rivals, candidly admitted that the Ferrari SF26 is currently the best car on the grid when it comes to cornering behavior. This isn't just a feeling, but data supported by telemetry. And now Ferrari's mission in China isn't just a matter of pride, but a technical necessity to prevent the championship from taking a one-way direction toward Brackley. Let's start from the Q3 data at Melbourne. While the Mercedes W17 escapes on the straights thanks to monstrous energy recovery, Charles Leclerc recovers much of the gap in the more technical sections, especially between Turn 3 and Turn 4. This means that excluding the power unit component, Ferrari has designed the most effective chassis on the grid. The mechanical grip and aerodynamics at low and medium speeds of the Scuderia are superior to those of Mercedes. The SF26 demonstrated in Australia having an extremely solid front end and a turn-in precision that at certain moments appeared even superior to Mercedes. However, the 2026 Formula One is a holistic challenge where the engine is no longer a separate entity from the chassis. Gear management, engine braking, and especially electric delivery heavily influence how the car enters and travels through corners. Ferrari manages to be precise as a scalpel on turn-in, but pays a very high price as soon as the straight lengthens. To beat Mercedes in China, Ferrari must look beyond pure power. If it's true that suspicions about the German power unit and that alleged 30 horsepower advantage weigh like boulders, the Shanghai circuit offers characteristics diametrically opposite to Albert Park. Shanghai is a front-limited track where the ability to rotate the car through the endless corners like turns 1 and 2 determines the entire race rhythm. The value of this challenge grows when we analyze the very long back straight, over 1.2 kilometers, where the 2026 manual override system will be the deciding factor. Maranello's strategy for China involves a medium-low downforce aerodynamic package designed to maximize efficiency. If Leclerc and Hamilton manage to stay within 1 second in the driven sections of Sector 2, Ferrari can exploit a top speed that in pre-season testing was the best of the entire field. Ferrari's real ace in the hole for the Chinese weekend is Lewis Hamilton. No driver on the current grid knows Shanghai's secrets better than him. Holder of the victory record at this circuit with multiple wins under his belt, Hamilton knows exactly how to manage the front left tire degradation that in China suffers a lateral stress unique in the world due to the long sweeping corners. His ability to guide engineers on differential setup and regenerative braking could allow Ferrari to recharge batteries more efficiently than Mercedes, avoiding that electric clipping that penalized many drivers at Melbourne. Lewis wants to prove precisely in China on his favorite track that the Maranello choice was the right one to break the Silver Arrow's hegemony once and for all. The value of this analysis grows when we look at what's about to happen. Nicola Tombazis, on behalf of the FIA, has already announced that after the Chinese Grand Prix there will be an emergency meeting to discuss regulatory corrections. The problem is the so-called super clipping, that moment when the car suddenly slows to recharge batteries, creating dangerous speed differences between attacker and defender. The Federation is considering raising the MGUK recovery limit to 250 kilowatts and lowering the maximum boost from the current 350. If these modifications were to pass, Mercedes' engine advantage could reduce significantly, exalting precisely Ferrari's chassis qualities. And Ferrari is pushing for the FEA to monitor with extreme attention the Mercedes power unit temperatures during the long loads of the Chinese Strait. If rivals pressure forces Toto Wolff to a more conservative engine management to avoid further investigations, Ferrari will find themselves with a wide open door for attack. But there's another secret brewing at Maranello. Frederic Vasseur has confirmed that for China, the first substantial updates will arrive, aimed mainly at reducing the car's minimum weight. In Formula One, removing weight means gaining time for free in every single race phase. In acceleration off the line and out of corners, in braking into slow sections, and in direction changes through chicanes and complex sequences. It's likely Ferrari has worked extensively on internal components, wiring harnesses and composite materials to trim those final grams that today separate Leclerc from the top step of the podium, where he desperately wants to stand. The tension, however, isn't only between Ferrari and Mercedes. The paddock is on fire over the relationship between Mercedes and its main customer team, McLaren. Andrea Stella was very harsh at Melbourne, complaining about a lack of transparency from Brackley in sharing software data and technical information. McLaren's suspicion is that Mercedes is protecting its own competitive advantage, denying customers access to the most evolved hybrid system mappings. If not even a team running the same engine can understand how the silver arrows are so fast, then suspicion of a proprietary software trick becomes almost a certainty in many people's minds. Ferrari watches slyly from the sidelines, aware of having a more integrated management with their powered customer teams, Haas and Cadillac, giving them an advantage in collaboration. Another crucial factor will be managing the first sprint race of the season, which adds complexity. With only one free practice session available before qualifying, Ferrari's simulation capability will be put to a very tough test indeed. At Maranello, the simulator has worked day and night without pause to deliberate a base setup that allows Leclerc to push from the very first lap on Friday morning. Mercedes has shown some small cracks in finding the tire working window when temperatures drop below optimal levels, and Shanghai's spring climate is historically unpredictable with temperature swings common throughout race weekends. If Ferrari manages to bring tires up to temperature faster than Russell and Antonelli in the cooler conditions, the pole position advantage could transform into a fundamental and perhaps championship-defining victory. The challenge of Shanghai will be the first true watershed of 2026. Ferrari has the technical weapons, driver experience, and a hunger for victory not seen in years at Maranello. The chassis is a masterpiece of engineering. Cornering precision is superior to Mercedes, and Hamilton knows this track like no one else in the world after so many victories here. The battle for 2026 isn't just between drivers, but between software programmers and materials engineers working behind the scenes. Ferrari has bet on pure mechanics and aerodynamics, Mercedes on the brute force of electronics and energy recovery. Who will have been right in the end? Only time will tell. If the FIA intervenes after China to limit superclipping and maximum boost as expected, Mercedes' engine advantage could reduce drastically, and Ferrari's chassis qualities would emerge in all their power and brilliance. Leclerc hungers for redemption after Melbourne's podium, and feels the car still has unexpressed potential, especially in electric boost management during close overtaking phases. Beating Mercedes in China means not only being faster, but being smarter in weekend management. The hunt for Mercedes is officially open, and Maranello seems to have the right arrows in their quiver.